Betashares has led the way in providing innovative investment solutions for Australian investors. A requirement for many investors, including those who prioritise investing ethically, is the ability to build a well-diversified portfolio with exposure across all the major asset classes. With this in mind, Betashares has launched the Betashares Ethical Australian Composite Bond ETF with the ASX ticker AEBD. This is the first ETF to invest in an ethically screened portfolio of Australian bonds. Betashares has established itself as the Australian market leader in both fixed income and ethical ETFs. AEBD combines the intelligent indexing approach developed for our Australian Composite Bond ETF with the stringent screening adapted from our existing ethical ETFs, such as GBND. AEBD is designed to serve as a core fixed income allocation for investors seeking attractive income from a diversified, ethically screened portfolio of high-quality Australian corporate and government bonds. From an investment outcomes perspective, AEBD's investment strategy aims to provide investors with higher returns than the commonly used Australian fixed income benchmark, the AusBond Composite Index. From an ethical perspective, AEBD gives investors access to an ethically screened portfolio of both green bonds and non-green bonds issued by companies, as well as government-issued bonds. AEBD's stringent ethical screening process is undertaken by our Responsible Investment Committee, leveraging their deep expertise in ethical and responsible investing. Non-sovereign issuers of eligible bonds are assessed for their involvement across a range of activities, including direct and indirect exposure to the fossil fuel industry, gambling, tobacco, alcohol, weapons manufacturing, environmental destruction, animal cruelty, junk food, payday lending, and violations of human and labour rights. Non-sovereign bonds are excluded from the portfolio where the issuer does not pass one or more of these business activity screens. How each of the screens is applied and the determined thresholds depends on whether the underlying bond is classified as a green bond or not. These screens address considerations that we have found to be important to ethically minded investors. For example, this means that a bond would be excluded if it is issued by a company with fossil fuel reserves, as would a bond from a global fast food chain if more than 1/3 of their revenue comes from selling junk food. In addition to the specific screens, a bond issuer, including a sovereign or government bond issuer, can be excluded due to a significant controversy, such as a major breach of human rights or the destruction of sites of significant cultural heritage. We know that transparency is critical in ethical investing. You can view the full details of AEBD's screening criteria, index methodology, and selection process in the PDS, as well as the current ETF holdings, which can be downloaded at any time on the fund page on Betashares' website. AEBD offers a true-to-label, diversified core building block for Australian investors that aims to deliver robust investment outcomes and meet the expectations of ethically minded investors. For more information, please visit AEBD's fund page.